been a few months since you guys have seen this thing, huh? A little bit. What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a long winter. A long, cold, snowy, shitty winter. But, I'll give you a little shot of the sky right now. Weather's turning around. It's looking nice. So, finally getting my butt back into the garage. It's been crazy this winter. A lot of stuff's been going on. Outside of working on the race car, stuff going on with work. I can catch you guys up real quick. So obviously you guys saw the last video, ran into transmission issues, and this is how it clearly sits. So that's what we're going to work on today. Got the parts washer set up. We're going to get this thing all cleaned up. We finally got all the parts back in from PPG. I sounded a brain fart there. From PPG from Australia. They came in a couple weeks ago, but over the winter, I guess in January, the company that I was working for I bought. So just been really busy with running the business and everything. But race season is coming up quick, so we got to get our butts in gear and get this thing going. So we got a lot to do. We got a lot and not a lot. I mean, I can get the transmission cleaned up pretty quick and put back together as long as it all works right and meshes with each other, but it should. It's got pretty much bought all V3 PPG stuff now. So once I get the transmission back together, hopefully the thing's solid for, I don't know, another 10 years. If we can get out of it, that'd be sweet. Besides the transmission, we picked up a new throttle body that we got to get swapped out. I'm getting rid of the V-band flange here, and I got one. It's another Ross Racing one, but it's got the Vibrant Quick Connect fitting on it. So we're going to swap the throttle body out, get a new throttle body on there, and then we got to build a new upper intercooler pipe though. So I'm going with that other style flange. I just hated the O-ring in here. There's multiple times that the O-ring slipped out and it cut it and it was causing a boost leak. So we got to get that done. We got to get the new radiator in because we ballooned. It's gonna be kind of hard. Let me see if I can get you guys a shot there. You guys look down the side of the radiator there. You can see it ballooned out. That's from us popping the head gasket like 5 times. I think both sides are like that. Yep. So we got a new radiator. We're gonna get that slapped in. I gotta get EGT stuff coming. I haven't ordered that stuff yet, but we're gonna slap EGTs on it this season. So that way, just more sensors, more readings. Make sure everything else is going to go with the engine. So yeah, transmission, radiator, throttle body, upper intercooler piping, EGT. We also got a new shifter base coming with a lockout. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the KDN ones. That's not the one we're getting. Another company called Fat Boy has designed, I think they're out of Malaysia, if I'm correct. Pretty sure they are. But they've designed one for like half the cost. So we picked one of those up and we got one of those coming. We'll check it out and see how it is. If it's good, we'll throw it in the car. I mean, it's got to be good. It looks good. So yeah, we got a few things to do. I mean, right now it's April 1st. So the first race is, what day is it?
April 26th.
So, lighting's kind of crappy over there. So, yeah,
It's this month.
Yeah, well, we got one race this month, and it's not PSCA, it's IFL. That's the 23rd, I think. It's the 23rd. Well, it's the 23rd. So, we got a couple weeks to get this thing together and if I can make that race, I'm going to try to make it. If not, then I'll just have the car sound for the first PSCA race. So, with all that being said, if I had all the parts here, I only need like a weekend to get all this stuff done. 2 days in the garage, I can get all this stuff done. So that's if everything goes smooth. And you know how working on race cars goes. So, but today's video is we're gonna get the transmission cleaned up and hopefully start assembling it and get the thing all back together and then get that thing back in the car. That's gonna be a big chunk. It's gonna be a big project down. So we're gonna turn this pile of mess into a better pile of assembly parts. So keep on the time lapse for you guys, and let's get it going. So we got, I'm saying 99% of it cleaned up. I don't want to bore you guys too much with the time lapse, so I want to like double time lapse it because it took a lot of time to get this cleaned up, you guys. So still gotta clean these cases. I had to scrape the old silicone and stuff off of them. I kind of did a little slight wash on them or whatever, but I'm focused on getting this guy cleaned up mostly. So cleaned up, got a couple parts back in it already, so it's looking good. So now I just gotta try to remember how all of this went together. So some of this is old V2, PPG V2 stuff. I guess this is all V3 stuff that I know for sure I have to reuse. I got a new one of the center spools. The shaft I have to reuse. So, and then, you know, we got a box, or not a box, but a pile of parts over here that got to make all this work. So that's what you guys are going to see me fumbling around with for now. So again, I'll slap on the time lapse because otherwise this is probably going to turn into like 3 hours of regular time footage. So time lapse. This is a pretty sight to see. So got the got all the clusters back together. I think I got all the parts in there. No, I do. So this is the aftermath. This is all the V2 leftover stuff. So center spool, a couple gears, one of the shafts. This was an old bearing. So on the V2, you needed this taller bearing, but for V3 stuff, you needed a smaller bearing. But just for whatever reason, you can never have enough extras. I ordered another one, so this one just stays with the V2 shit, and this is a spare V2 stuff. And this is a spare bearing. So it's getting pretty late, pretty tired. Had a long day. Went and finished up a bathroom remodel before I started. Before I came home and started messing with this stuff. So tomorrow we just gotta get the rest of the cases cleaned up. Which I already cleaned up, but we just gotta get the rest of the cases cleaned up, get some of the hardware and stuff cleaned up, and then slap some silicone on this bad boy and get it back together. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, when we get it all back together, run through the gears, it's just fine. But I've been doing it kind of here on the bench a little bit. It's kind of hard without having the intermediate plate on there to keep all the bearings, the shift rails, and all that stuff in place. I need like a longer bolt to kind of bolt that thing down so that I can see it, but just kind of shifting it around and moving it, it's working how it's supposed to. So progress, everything's good here, man. I was like, before I ordered all the parts for the V3 stuff, I went over the parts list and I compared the V2 to the V3. There was a couple parts that you can use from the V2 on the V3 assembly. But when stuff showed up and I started putting it together, man, I was like, kind of had a bad feeling. But everything so far is good, assembly-wise. Like I said, I'm gonna know once I get the transmission all back together, get it all bolted, and then when I can shift it on the bench, I should know that it's good. We can get that bad boy slapped in the car. So, yeah, that's it for this video. So we're back at it. Hopefully, it ain't gonna be daily content. Hopefully, we get weekly content on the car. Start uploading more frequently. So also too, over the winter, I mean, I was barely putting out content, but I was grabbing subscribers here and there. So just hit over a little over 400 subscribers. So I appreciate you guys for subscribing, all that good stuff. So share it with a buddy, share it with a friend. Make sure you leave a like and a comment. It helps the algorithm. Spread this stuff, baby. Let's get up to 1,000 and start making a couple bucks off a couple views. So again, thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys on the next one.